Hello, it's Crypto Mux right here. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about server-side template injection. Let's first go to Portswigger and go to this practice lab. I'm not going to be doing a live situation here because I'll be spending a lot of time to find that. So practice labs are good to learn the vulnerability and understand it. So in this section, we'll look more closely at some typical server-side template injection vulnerabilities and demonstrate how they can be exploited using our high-level methodology. Now this is what it's saying. By putting the process into practice, you can potentially discover and exploit a variety of different server-side template injection vulnerabilities. Once you discover a server-side template injection vulnerability and identify the template engine being used, successful exploitation typically involves the following process. So it involves read, template syntax, security, documentation, documented exploits, exploit environment, create a custom attack. Now read, unless you already know the template engine inside out, reading its documentation is usually the first place to start. So if we read the documentation, see what we can actually do. Now we're going to achieve remote code execution in the example. So we're going to use this exploit here, and let's actually use this. So basically import os xos p open id equals read. Let's copy this. Let's go to our little notepad here, thingy. Let's paste this there. Okay, let's view this lab. Let's go here. And what it's saying is, due to unsafe construction of an ERB template to solve the lab, review the ERB documentation to find out how to execute RBG code, then delete moral.txt file from Carlos's home directory. Let's view this. And let's go to our lab in Firefox. Let's go here. A good thing is we can use Wapalizer. Just move this to the side here. We can use Wapalizer, and this will tell us what's been used in the application. So let's just load this up and just wait for it to load. We want to actually put this in scope, and we want to see what's been used. Okay, it's not saying anything yet. Let's view the details. Let's just play around with some polyglot payload. So we don't need to do polyglot. We'll just do some basic. We'll discover it. So we just do this as the payload, which is these two angled these two brackets and then 7 times 7 bracket. And if it prints out 49, means we've got a successful template injection vulnerability. This is the discover phase. Okay, obviously this looks interesting as a message. This looks really interesting. I think this is where it's going to actually be vulnerable. I just can pick it out like that. Let's put this as let's actually just send this off first and see if it gets reflected. Obviously, let's just search for this. And yes, it gets reflected. So I think this is where it's going to lie in the message parameter. So let's look for 49. It should get reflected as 49. 7 times 7 should equal 49. Let's have a look at 49. Ha! Not there. Let's just try and do maybe just a 1. Just a 1. See what happens. Let's do foobar. Type in foobar and see where that gets reflected. Foobar gets reflected there. Let's do 7 times and put this here like this. Let's see if that gets reflected back. Let's search for foobar. It didn't get reflected back. Damn. Okay, so that's not a valid payload. Let's try this here. Still not a valid payload. Okay, let's have a look at what template engine is being used. So let's look at the let's just copy this URL here because we know this is the vulnerable parameter. I could just tell. And let's have a look at what's being used here. So we've got in here. We need to figure out what's actually being used. So unfortunately, this product is out of stock. Okay. What happens if we paste in this payload here? Let's paste in this here and see if that works. And obviously, we want to put it all in one line. We don't want any spaces. This is a Python one, by the way. Sounds like Python. Let's go %20. You'll encode this actually, so we'll put a space and we'll euro encode this. So Control Shift U or Control U, and let's see this actually comes up with the ID. So ID. Let's just print out that. Okay, it didn't work. Let's put foobar at the very end, just so we can search for that. Does it come up at all? Nah, nothing comes up. Let's see if the ID. Let's see if the ID is being reflected. Okay. So right here, there's an error here. So there's actually an error. In the div tag, and it's saying undefined local variable or import OS. Let's just not euro encode this. Let's decode it. So Control Shift U. It's actually coming up with an error. This is good. Let's forward that off and see what comes up. It doesn't like the request. Let's change this to %20 as a space, and then I did 9 there, and then %20 as a space, and let's do it now. Should be a 200. Okay now. Awesome. Let's have a look at the ID. It doesn't like it. So there's a syntax error somewhere in the code. So syntax error eval. But we're getting a JavaScript. We're getting a Ruby error. So this is actually running on Ruby. So and we did Python. So we need to do Ruby. So let's look up in a browser. Let's look up Ruby SSTI, and this will come up with Ruby template injection payloads we can use. Let's use use one of these ones. This is a nice one we can use, and if this prints out 49, we've got a successful template injection, which we should actually do this. I think I might need to put we need to put spaces here. That's probably what I need to do. Probably just euro encode it. Probably work better, but let's see this works. Let's see if this prints out 49. Where is it? Should print out 49 somewhere. Where's that div tag? 49. Ha! Right there. Awesome. So look at that. 49 is printed. We have a successful template injection vulnerability. Now let's look at ways to execute a command. So we want to look at a way to execute a command. So we can do file. We can do this one, and this will read the etc parswd file. Let's read that one. Let's do that one. Obviously, we need a %20. And what we want to basically do, I need to fix that up, is we want to delete the file. The file we want to delete. All right, let's have a look at there. Obviously, there's a space there. We need to fix that up. All right, let's have a look at that. Should work. It doesn't like the parswd. I know in regular expression I did pawd. Okay, let's have a look at the payload again. It needs a quote. It needs a quote there. So let's put a quote there. Let's see if it reads it now. Should read the parswd file. Should be all printed there. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, so we want to delete Carlos. We want to delete that the file. So the file that we need to delete is, let's have a look at the lesson again. The file we need to delete is now it's very simple. All we're doing is we're trying to figure out any errors, and we're trying to actually we're trying to delete we're trying to figure out where we get errors and what language is the error. Let's actually run a system command. So let's have a look at running. Let's go to our browser and let's look at running system commands in Ruby. And we can try a couple of things actually. We can try to ls in the home directory. We just want a simple xec. Okay, we want to try xec. Okay, let's just do a basic one. Let's do xec and let's do ls, and this should print out the current current files in that directory. Let's have a look. All right, let's have a look here. Didn't like it actually. I do not like it. Oh, look at that. Moral.txt. Now we need to remove this. So rm, and then we'll do this. And we'll make sure we put that percentage to 0 because we want it to be a proper request. And as you can see, we would have completed the lab. Let's go. So, look, solved. Look at that. Perfect. If we open this up in the response in the browser, it will say we have solved the challenge. Perfect. That's a very basic server-side template injection. Now remember, what you need to do is you need to first put in this command here, this injection payload here. We don't want this. Put in 7 times 7, or anything like this. And if it comes up with an error, like if we did again, if we did 7 times 7, this is going to come up with an error. So we need to read that error. And we need to read that error. So let's just do foobar, so we can see where it's come from. Remember, this actually didn't reflect it back because this was actually the wrong payload. So let's do let's put this here and let's close it. And what you can do here is if this actually comes up with an error, it means we've got a successful server-side template injection. And as you can see, there's an error. See, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for just injecting SSTI payloads, looking for the error. And by looking at this error, we can see eval didn't execute. So it's obviously using eval in the backend server, because it's got an eval syntax error. So eval is very bad. That's a very bad function to use in Ruby. And here's the error here. So we look at Ruby. It says Ruby 2.5. So we look for payloads for Ruby 2.5. And then we looked at Ruby had a system command called XCC, and then we just go from there. That's pretty much server-side template injection. So to discover, inject payloads like this, look for errors in the code. You can also type in foobar, so you can just search for that, because you can't really search for this error, so type in foobar, and that will help you grep for that there. Obviously, it's not coming up, so you just have to search for it in the error down in here somewhere. So, oh, there it is right there. So I spelled it wrong. Foobar, and you search for that, and that will help you figure out where the error is. And that's pretty much it. That's server-side template injection. Very easy. We can also do some more advanced challenges, like we can do things like code to context, or using documentation, because it might be a little bit harder to actually find one that you need to look at the documentation. We can do server-side template injection where the language is unknown, so where the language we don't know, we just have to figure out by looking at the response, I guess. So I recommend you just trying these out. You've got a rough idea what it is now. Yep, so also remember I've got a YouTube channel. Whoops, that's my subscribers there. I've got like a YouTube channel you can have a look at. I've done a live video on YouTube. Shows you about like all the bug bounty tutoring I do. There's a shitty photo of me, lols. Learn, I can just type in crypto mux and it'll come up with my latest videos. And the latest one I've got is this one here. Learn all about bug bounty. Obviously this is not the one I want to do. This is the one here. There we go. That's, and it went for like went for 98. Went for 30, about half an hour. So that's a good video to look at. And yeah, just practice, do the labs, and just go at it. Also, I've got a Patreon page. You would have already knew this because you're actually a Patreon if you can view this video. And Patreon cryptomux@gmail.com. Patreon cryptomux, sorry, not gmail.com. That's my email address. So Patreon /cryptomux. I could probably just go. Oops, part of the video. Yeah. So obviously I need to do it in Chrome. So Patreon, Patreon cryptomux. So that's my Patreon page. I'm going to have this video on there as well. So have a look at that. And yeah, all the best. Happy hacking. Practice those lab exercises and you will get really good at it. Cheers. Have a good one. Bye.